Good morning, children. Welcome to school. This is going to be a video that will hopefully help you on this upcoming Google Classroom assignment. The deadline is tomorrow. However, I wanted to work out at least 3 problems so that you have a pretty good idea of how to get a really nice grade on that assignment. With that said, let's go ahead and jump right into this first problem. So today we're talking about like solving linear inequalities. The very first thing that you want to do is put the x's with the x's and the numbers with the numbers. So for example, I see that I'm going to rewrite my problem. Sometimes that helps me a lot. 4x minus 30 is greater than negative 3x plus 12. Okay, the first thing I notice is that I have 4x and 3x on opposite sides, so I want to bring that negative 3x into the other side by adding. Okay, I want to do an inverse operation just to get rid of that negative 3x. And so then I have 7x minus 30 is greater than positive 12. Don't need to write the plus sign because I know it's positive. So to get rid of that 30 and put it on the other side, I need to add 30. So plus 30, and then I have 7x is greater than, I'm going to get 42 because 30 plus 12 is 42. And then I divide by 7. And I have x is greater than 42 divided by 7 is going to give me 6. So x has to be greater than 6 and my answer is 1. Okay, hopefully I didn't go too far, but essentially the main idea is that you bring the x's with the x's. If they're on opposite sides, then you have to perform an inverse operation just so that you get rid of the x's on one side and you bring it to the other. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. This time I want to use, let's use this one, reddish color. Okay, this is a very similar problem. 2h plus 8 is greater than 3h minus 6. Okay, now I notice that there's a 2h and a 3h on opposite sides. So what I want to go ahead and do is subtract this 3h. Okay, and that way I get rid of it. So then I combine my like terms. So 2h minus 3h is going to give me a negative 1h plus 8 is going to give me greater than negative 6. Okay, so now I must bring my numbers with my numbers. So I subtract 8 from both sides. And I'm going to get negative 1h is greater than, this eliminates, negative 14. Okay, now I have to divide by negative 1. Okay, so let's see what happens because this is going to be slightly different. Okay, so I divide the left side by negative 1, so I end up with just h. Okay, it's since I divided by a negative, I'm going to have to flip my inequality symbol. And so now I'm going to have, instead of h is greater than, I'm going to have h is less than positive 14 because negative 14 divided by negative 1 is positive. So my answer is going to be 1 again. Alright, hopefully I didn't go too fast. Again, the main idea here is that if you divide both sides by a negative sign or negative number, you have to flip the inequality symbol. Okay, next and last problem is one in which we have to first use the distributive property. So this time let's use purple. So now I have 2m minus 1 is less than 4m plus 7. Okay, so I see a 3 outside of parentheses, so I automatically go ahead and distribute. So I'm going to have 6m minus 3 is less than 4m plus 7. Okay, what do I do now? I put my m's with my m's, so I bring the 4 to the left side, and that's how I get rid of that 4. So I have 6 minus 4 is 2m. minus 3, I get 7. Okay, next thing I do, I want to bring my numbers with my numbers, so perform an inverse operation and I get 2m. The 3's cancel out, is less than 10. Okay, now I don't have any negative coefficients, so I'm good. I don't have to like flip the symbol or anything. So I just divide by 2 and then I get m is less than or equal to 5. And what's my answer? Oh, so cool. It is 1 again. I love things that repeat 3 times. Anyway, I hope that this video was useful to you. This was definitely a lot faster than before. I think this is a very simple topic, but it's worth reviewing. Just the concept of doing equal things from one side to the other in order to get rid of things on one side of an inequality or equation. Okay, hopefully you are doing well in this quarantine, and I hope to see you next time. So good luck.